Hello, and welcome to this episode of the Healthy Business Podcast, where I'm going to be talking about burnout and I'm going to give you 10 ways that you can avoid burnout when you are running your own business. Because it's one of the things that I hear so often when people are pushing so hard to get results. You know, you're running your own business, you want to achieve things. And I know that you are determined in wanting to grow your business, wanting to scale it. And that comes with the potential, if we're not careful, to head down that road to burnout. And I've experienced burnout in different ways. When I was in my corporate career, I hit burnout. And as I became fully booked within my first business, I recognized that I was heading down the road of burnout. And burnout can mean different things to different people. So, in some ways, it's more important to recognize what those symptoms could be for you. And for me, they showed up different ways in both occasions where I experienced it. So, some of the symptoms in general, they could be that you're just feeling a bit off. You know, we hear about stress, we're feeling about tiredness, but actually sometimes it can be that you're just feeling a bit off, that you're not feeling like yourself. Maybe you're feeling lack of energy, maybe you've just lost your mojo, maybe you're a bit more snappy than normal. But it could just be that you're just not feeling it. You're just not feeling yourself. So, first of all, it's about getting awareness about how you are, who you are, where your energy comes from, and all those wonderful things that help light us up, that help drive us forward within our business. But if you're starting to recognize, if you're wondering whether you are feeling a bit off or you're feeling more tired than normal, you're feeling more stressed, more anxious than normal, then here are some ways that you can take to, I suppose, mitigate that. We don't want you to get to that point of burnout. You know, running your business, there are so many things to do, there are so many hats to wear. But what we want to do is grow and scale a business without that burnout, without that overwhelm. So I'm going to share with you 10 ways that you can avoid burnout. There are many more, but first of all, it's about getting awareness for yourself. But hopefully, these 10 ways to avoid burnout will really give you a little bit of food for thought and help you in growing your business, scaling it, without having those signs, without having that need to take time off. And I'm seeing so many people that are growing their business, but they're growing it in a way that means that they are being forced to take time out, whether it's forcing closing their doors completely because they're just so exhausted, they're completely burnt out, or whether it's that they're just pushing so hard that then, you know, they are needing to take that time out because they're sick, or they're just having to cancel all their meetings and just take that time out for themselves. That's not where we want to go. We want you to thrive. We want you to feel energized. We want to enjoy everything that you're doing. So, as I said, 10 ways to avoid burnout. So, my first tip is really to think about your boundaries, both personally and professionally. You want to make sure that you're running your business in a way that works for you. So, thinking about your working hours, thinking about the days that you're working. This is going to be different for all of you, and there is no fixed rule. It's about you running a business in a way that works for you, that enables you to grow and scale, as well as having those lifestyle goals, those personal goals as well. So, thinking about your boundaries, thinking about how you let clients work with you, thinking about whether they can contact you at all hours of the day, thinking about whether you respond to emails or messages, whether you've got your notifications on, whether you set an alarm and you have a specific time of day where you don't respond to things. I would recommend that as an aside. It's really important that you have your boundaries, you know where those stand. And also, it means that you can flex them. You get to choose whether you flex them or not. So one of my boundaries is that I don't do client work before 10:30. That's my time to do my exercise, my personal development, some personal projects if I'm working on anything like writing my book. And it means that I can start my day in my best way. I also don't respond to messages or emails in the evenings. I have a set time where I close everything off. I may still do some work, but I don't respond to messages. I don't respond to clients. I don't respond to things within social media. Those can change. So sometimes I will start work before 10:30 in the morning. I've got some clients in Asia and Australia, and the time difference means that on occasion I do have to shift those boundaries. But that's okay because that's me choosing to flex that. So having boundaries, both personally and professionally, is really, really important. My second way to avoid burnout is thinking about your business model. You don't want to be trading time for money. You don't want to have all of your time being sucked up in things that, for one, you don't necessarily need to be doing. But also making sure that you've got different revenue streams so that if you are taking time out, when you're taking time out to do your personal development, your professional development, whether you're on holiday, whether you're taking time out for your children, that you've got money coming in. So, really thinking about your business model, having those different revenue streams, that means you've still got cash coming in without you trading all of your time for money. This was a big shift for me when I was fully booked within my business as a therapist, and I became fully booked within 5 months. And I recognized that I needed to shift my business model because I'd lost that flexibility. I had hit an income ceiling, and I was letting clients dictate my working hours because I wanted to help as many people as I possibly could. But that meant that I was heading to that road of burnout. I was trading my time for money. So, really considering what your business model looks like. Thinking about, as sort of an aside and a build on that, is the focusing on the tasks that actually make a difference to your business and to your goals. We live in such a busy society, and as business owners, there's always going to be something to do. So, getting really clear on your goals and then focusing on the things that actually do make a difference are super, super key. You don't need to do everything. You don't need to do everything right now either. So, prioritizing what has to happen, then focusing on the nice to dos and eliminating or even outsourcing anything that doesn't need to happen or doesn't have to be done by you. So, this can be done from a personal perspective as well as a business perspective. So, thinking about, whether you get a cleaner, whether you have a bookkeeper, maybe it's about online food shopping. So, you're saving time and not having to go to a supermarket. So, really considering what it is and how you can do things in different ways, enabling you to focus on those tasks that actually make a difference to you, your business, and your goals. Making sure that you're nourishing yourself. So, through food and drink. We all know what healthy foods are, we all know what we should be doing. But when we're busy, we tend to go for those quick fixes, don't we? But our gut is our long term energy. Our stress is held in our gut. So we need to make sure that we're having protein rich breakfasts. Studies have shown that this can help stabilize blood sugar levels, meaning that our body runs on our fat and energy stores rather than the survival metabolism. So, this signals to your body that we are safe rather than in crisis. So, that means that we feel calmer, it reduces our levels of adrenaline, so, swapping those quick energy boosting foods and caffeine for something that gives you long term energy that helps you stabilize your blood sugar levels will really make a difference to your stress levels. And caffeine can mimic the stress hormone cortisol in your body as well. So, I'm not necessarily saying completely cut out caffeine, but maybe swapping one of those 10 cups of coffee that you're using at the moment and having, whether it's a herbal tea or whether it's water or whether it's, a smoothie or a juice or something that's going to give you the vitamins to nourish your body in the right way. So, my fifth tip, learning how to pause and rest. So, this can come in different forms. It doesn't need to be grand gestures like spa days. You don't want to be working so hard that you're then forced to take time out and rest, as I said earlier. But it's about integrating pause and rest into your everyday so that you can perform at your best on an ongoing basis. This is about you being at your optimal levels for as many days as possible. Deep breathing can really help reduce feelings of stress and levels of cortisol in the body. So, if you are starting to feel anxious about things, then just take that pause, have that rest. Even 3 deep inhales and exhales, really focusing on that breathing, can make such a big difference. And if you plan that into your day, even if it's just, the length of time it takes to do 3 deep breaths is nothing. But if you can plan that into your day and do it regularly, your body then starts regulating itself. And that can make a huge difference in the long term. Thinking about it as a compound effect. You don't want to wait until the point that you're feeling stressed. You want to have these integrated into your everyday so that your body can re-regulate itself. Movement is another great way to balance things and to avoid burnout. Now, thinking about what your body needs, what energy you're needing, movement doesn't need to be hardcore cardio exercise. Movement is just about you giving yourself the energy, but also recognizing that you might need more calm, more slower movement as well. Maybe different movement at different times of the day. So I know from my body that if I do hardcore cardio in the evenings, I don't sleep very well. So I tend to do my cardio first thing in the morning, hence why I don't start my client work until 10:30. That's how I get the best out of my day. So I do my sort of cardio work in the morning, and then I will do something more slower, maybe more meditative, yoga or relaxation in the evening. So, thinking about at your levels of energy at different times of day, what do you need that's going to help you perform at your best? Now, talking about end of day, sleep is one of those other things. We all know that we should be sleeping for a certain number of hours each day, each night. And we know that sleep aids recovery and it supports our body. And that in turn helps our emotional and our mental states. So thinking about your sleep routines and avoiding looking at blue light from your phone, your TV screens, etc. before you're going to bed. But also thinking about first thing in the morning. Are you reaching for your phone and scrolling your emails or your social media? This can interrupt your sleep pattern as well. And it also adds to your mental exhaustion. So if you're starting the day feeling exhausted, then you're going to end the day and that's going to affect your sleep as well. So thinking about the full day, thinking about your sleep can actually happen first thing in the morning, not just last thing in the evening. My eighth tip, this is about thinking outside of work. Where are you getting your fulfillment outside of work? So making sure that you're investing your time in your hobbies, doing the things that you enjoy doing, seeing people that you enjoy spending time with. These are really key in boosting your mood and means that you are not focused on work all the time. You running your own business, you're passionate about what you do, and I totally understand that. But doing things outside of your job, outside of your work, will actually help your brain. It will help you feel clearer, give you more creativity, and it will give you that joy in a different way that your business will. Similarly, having a support network of like minded people that you can talk to, that you feel safe to, that understand why you're doing what you're doing is really important. So, having that tribe of people, that support network that you can go and ask those questions, that you can speak to ask for advice. It's one of the reasons that I run my free Facebook group, Healthy Business to Wealthy Business. It's one of the reasons that I love running group programs and masterminds because you've got that support network. It's also one of the reasons that I invest in masterminds and working with people who are like minded, that continue to push me, that are energized, that have a similar thought process, but are also there that I can ask those questions that I want to, that maybe friends and family wouldn't necessarily understand or know where you're coming from. And my 10th tip is to add joy to your everyday. So, thinking about how you can set yourself up for your best day, thinking about the rituals, the routines that you can have, whether it is journaling, whether it's gratitude, having those positive moments. Again, it's this compound effect that you can add in little things on your everyday that are going to make you feel less stressed. You're going to feel more positive. You're going to feel calmer. So even things like playing music whilst you're washing the dishes or lighting a candle when you're doing some admin work, maybe having lunch outside in nature, taking a break throughout the day and going and doing something completely different, whether it's reading a magazine or taking a walk around the block so that you're outside, you're in fresh air. So many different things that you can do to add joy to your everyday that will make a huge difference on your stress levels, but will also help you avoid burnout. So I've shared with you 10 ways that you can avoid burnout. So in summary, we talked about your boundaries. We spoke about your business model. We focused on the tasks that will actually make a difference to your business and your goals. We talked about nourishing yourself through food and drink. We talked about how to pause and how to rest and adding that into your everyday rather than getting to that point where you're forced to take time out and rest. Adding movement, recognizing the energy levels that you need at different times of the day and how you can support that through movement, which will also help your sleep. We also shared about fulfillment outside of work and thinking about the hobbies that you can do, the exercises and activities that you can do, as well as the people that you want to spend time with. And that then led into your support network from a work perspective of like minded people that you can trust, but that you can talk to. And finally, we spoke about adding joy into your everyday. So, 10 ways that you can avoid burnout. And I would love your thoughts on this. So, do leave me a review. Let me know which ones you're going to try. And I will look forward to hearing that. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the Healthy Business Podcast. Do feel free to share this as well. I know burnout is one of those things that affects so many people when they're running their own businesses. So do feel free to share this episode with anyone you think needs it. And I will see you very soon on the next episode of the Healthy Business Podcast. Have a brilliant, wonderful day.